Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Plus Service. Last week our pharmacy manager and district manager sent out a push. We were strongly encouraged to tell customers about the new Plus service and help set it up for them. It's already busy here. It's summer, people are still snowbirding down, and we are dealing with insurance issues, filling prescriptions and managing inventory. There isn't extra time in the day. Around 3 PM, a customer I know comes in. She's a mom, very nice with a big family. She didn't know about the online platform, so I offered to show her. I brought her to the counseling window and walked her through it. She pulled out her phone. I showed her what to download, how to set up her account, and how to check and refill prescriptions. Since she has a big family, we set up a family account. That meant adding 4 more people, with names, birth dates and addresses. It took about 20 to 25 minutes. She asked a few more questions, and then the pharmacist called me back. The queue had built up during that time. Once we caught up, we had a quick conversation. You can't spend that much time with a patient showing them the Plus option. The email you sent said the DM wants us to be active in helping customers sign up. Are you now asking me not to do that? We just needed to be faster. Then I won't do it. You can't expect me to go fast and help thoroughly at the same time. If this is a judgment call situation, I can ask the DM for clarification. The conversation ended there. The pharmacist was frustrated, but I followed the directions I was given. The next story is called New Cat. Last year, a stray cat started visiting and talking to my cat through the window. I thought it was cute. They seemed to become friends. When I opened the door, the stray ran off. I figured I wouldn't see him again. Where I live, outdoor cats rarely survive. In 11 years, I never seen the same stray cat twice. But this cat, who we now will call Blue, kept coming back, every day for a month. Eventually he just walked inside the house. We took him to the Humane Society, assuming they'd put him up for adoption. Instead they told us about their community cat program. They sprayed and vaccinated him, clipped his ear, and asked us to release him back where we found him. We did, and expected him to disappear, but he kept coming back. He'd come inside, nap with our cat and dogs, then go out at night. Sometimes when we walked our dogs, he'd follow us through the neighborhood. People thought it was hilarious. Everyone except the HOA. They said the cat was ours and couldn't be out unsupervised. So we started keeping him inside and only took him out with the dogs for walks. If we didn't, he'd tear up the house. This worked, except he started going after low nesting birds, which upset some neighbors. More complaints. The HOA proposed a rule change. All pets must be leashed, not just dogs. People pushed back. Some joked about leashing turtles and guinea pigs, but the rule passed anyway. When I read it, I noticed it didn't say how long the leash had to be, and it didn't say the leash had to be held. So now Blue wears a very short leash, just dragging behind him. He's technically leashed. I also told the Humane Society about everything. They are sending their social media team to make videos about Blue. The third story is called Only One Command. I've worked on and off as a raft guide over the years, and recently started retraining on a new river. On day 1 I was paired with a trainer, who I'd been warned was a bit tough to deal with. Right at the start he says, for the first half of the day you can only call the forward command. No turns, no backpedaling, just forward. Fair enough. We get on the river and I'm in the guide seat. I tell the crew to pedal forward, but the rest of the trip isn't ready yet. So I spin us upstream, and they just keep pedaling forward. Eventually we drift too far upstream, so I spin the raft around again. Then the trainer says, you don't want to tire people out so much. You should pull over in the eddy and let them rest. I asked, oh, does that mean I can use a command other than forward now? He smiles and says, you can also have the stop command. After that we got along great for the rest of the training. The last story is called Fired. Back in the late 80s, I got a job with the Ministry of Natural Resources, supporting forest fire crews by driving supplies and people around. It paid over double minimum wage and there were no limits on hours. At 19, that was a big deal. By mid-May, I was already supporting a 3 to 400 hectare fire. This was in a massive district, about the size of Indiana, so there was a lot of driving. One day I got to the on-site HQ and was told to wait for a return load. Eventually I was sent to the helicopter staging area to pick up the fire boss. The road was terrible, full of deep potholes. I picked him up along with a few others and drove slowly, because I knew how bad the road was. Still, I hit a pothole and the fire boss absolutely lost it. Started yelling about kids speeding and no respect. When we finally got back to camp, he slammed the door and yelled, "You are fired. Get back to district and have them process you out." So I grabbed 2 20-liter gas cans and set off. Slow. If 15 was too fast, I figured I'd let the truck idle all the way out. It took 22 hours just to hit the first paved road. Then I set cruise control 5 under the limit. By the time I got back to district and processed out, I earned an extra $300 in overtime. As I was leaving, I ran into a crew boss I trained with before. He needed a replacement for someone on his crew who'd broken a leg. He hired me on the spot. 2 hours later, I was back in a truck heading to a fire. And guess what? It was the same fire I'd just been fired from. Turns out the crew boss and the fire boss are close friends. So he made sure our crew was assigned to initial response with the fire boss, which meant lots of helicopter time together. Took about a week before the fire boss recognized me. I watched him go from pink to red to full on purple. Couldn't hear what he said in the headset, but the side eye I got was intense. Later my crew boss asked me what happened, and when I told him, including the 22-hour drive, he nearly fell over laughing. Apparently, this fire boss had a reputation for blowing up at people over nothing. I wasn't the only one he fired over that same pothole. So for the rest of the fire, my crew boss made sure I was seated right where the fire boss would always see me. Later that summer we got admin duties. My crew boss got promoted to the fire boss's second, and I became, as he put it, his helper monkey. Everyone was in on the joke. I worked 3 more summers for that crew boss. The pay was great, the stories were even better, and I always came back in amazing shape, with a weird tent. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.